Here's a verb called gustar. It's an interesting new verb, and I think you will like it. The learning objectives for this lesson are that you will be able to define the verb gustar in Spanish, name and use the indirect object pronouns that are used with gustar, and correctly apply the rules of conjugation with gustar, depending on the singular and plural forms. So the verb gustar really means to be pleasing to. A lot of times in Spanish, you'll hear it quickly translated to like. I like, you like, he or she likes. But specifically, it means to be pleasing to. And it's not just an average verb. It is an AR verb. I promised you every verb will fall into one of those categories. So gustar is an AR verb. But you can't conjugate it by dropping the AR and adding the AR endings. It's a little bit different. If you look at the chart, you'll see that when you conjugate gustar, it's always either gusta or gustan, and all of the ends are in parentheses, because whatever it is that is pleasing to the person, if it is singular, like water, it's gusta. If it's plural, like cars, then it's gustan. So you always use gusta if the thing that pleases the person is singular, and you always use gustan if the thing that pleases the person is plural. And I think it'll make more sense once you see some examples. The other thing that's kind of funky about this verb is that you need to use these things in the red italicized lettering before the verb, called indirect object pronouns. And at this point of the game, it's not important what they're called. It's just important that you remember to put them there to show who is being pleased. Me gusta means something pleases me, or something is pleasing to me. Te gusta means something is pleasing to you. Le gusta, something is pleasing to him, or le gusta is something is pleasing to her, or le gusta can mean something is pleasing to you formal. Nos gusta, something is pleasing to us. Os gusta, something is pleasing to you all. Or les gusta can mean something is pleasing to them, or something is pleasing to you all in Latin America. So there's two really, really important rules with this verb. It's a very useful verb talking about things that we like or that other people like or is pleasing to us. But it's always going to be either gusta or gustan, depending on what the thing that is doing the pleasing is singular or plural. And you need the me, te, le, nos, os, or les out in front to say who is receiving the pleasure from whatever it is. Let's look at some examples. I think it will be a little bit more clear. So I like Spanish class. Spanish class is pleasing to me. Me gusta la clase de español. He likes sports. For this example, sports is plural, so you're going to need to use gustan. Le gustan los deportes really means sports please him. We like parties. Parties is plural, so you need to use gustan. They're pleasing to us, so you need nos. Nos gustan las fiestas. We like parties. She likes her brother. Brother is singular. Le gusta su hermano. Remember, su was a possessive adjective that means her. Blast from the past. They like my class. Les gusta mi clase. They like my class pleases them. Sometimes we can be pleased by verbs. I'm pleased by verbs. Are you pleased by verbs? And this means that people like to do something. So when you're using gustar with a verb, conjugate gusta. You don't need to use gustan because the verb is singular. And the verb stays unconjugated or in its infinitive form. I like to swim. Swimming pleases me. Me gusta nadar. And notice I used gusta instead of gustan because the verb nadar is considered singular. It doesn't fall into that plural category. They like to read. Les gusta leer. We like to run. Nos gusta correr. You like to study, and I know you do. Te gusta estudiar. So again, when you're talking about a verb, liking to do something, simply put liking to do something, or when a verb is what's causing the pleasure, you don't conjugate the verb. You conjugate gustar, always in the gusta form, not the gustan form, and you can't forget those indirect object pronouns, the me, te, le, nos, os, les. So there's one more thing that happens with this verb. Sometimes to emphasize who's receiving the pleasure, so pleasing me, pleasing you, pleasing him, pleases her, you'll see this out in front of the verb. A mí me gusta. A ti te gusta. A él or a ella le gusta. A usted le gusta. A nosotros nos gusta. A vosotros os gusta. A ellos les gusta. A ellas les gusta. A ustedes les gusta. Or sometimes you could use somebody's name, like a Tom le gusta la pizza. A Meredith le gusta bailar. So this is just a heads up more than anything else that sometimes before the verb gustar, you'll see the letter a to whom something is pleasing. A mí, a ti, a nosotros, and it really just puts a little bit more emphasis on who we're talking about in the sentence. So time to check yourself. This was kind of a complicated lesson. Can you define the verb gustar? Can you check or can you state the indirect object pronouns that are used with gustar? Can you determine if you need to use gusta or gustan? And do you know what the a in front of gustar is used for? If yes, I think you must have a great teacher. If not, she's still great, but get in touch with her for some